He begin to show you love. So even then when we're called and elected, even in the word Second Peter, it talks about being elected. So as I was reading Romans 8:33, the Bible tells us that God justifies.
Yeah.
And not only do he elect us, but he justifies. So he predestined us for salvation. So those of us that are saved, God already knew before he formed the world that he predestined us for salvation. So therefore we are saved and we have to make our calling and election sure. That's why I say this to say a lot of times when we deal with things, or whether it's a spirit of grieving, or whether we're grieving over a parent or a loved one, or marriage or divorce or relationship, we have to be delivered. So we have to be delivered from ourselves. But sometimes we self-sabotage. We will self-sabotage relationships.
Come on.
We will self-sabotage. I'm telling you.
Come on.
The things that we ask God to bring in our lives, we'll self-sabotage.
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't want to know who they are. Not who they are in Christ, but I'm saying who they are in the flesh.
My God.
And when you ask God to show you who you are,
you about to make
He'll show you who you is in the flesh.
Come on.
Now I'm telling you because God will deal with you. He'll deal with you. Because if you truly want to serve him, he'll begin to purge you. If you truly want to serve him. So with me even coming from out of the Church of Christ for 20 something years, we would go to camp. And we would go to camp for like 7 days in the wilderness. No TV, no internet. Oh yes, real. But I love about it because it teaches you how to be in prison. And at that moment, that's when I found out my mom cancer. That was years ago. My nephew let it slip. Nobody was going to tell me because they knew I had to travel that world. And my little sister said, I'm not telling my sister. Give me that phone. She was like, you better not tell her she's on the way and serving God, her and them kids. But he let it slip. Asked me was I okay. He was checking on me. I happened to go back to the cabin and see the message, and it tore me up. But anyway, I say this to say that time with God. Like he said, you have to be in the presence of God. So what he means by Matthew 6:33, it says seek the kingdom of God and his righteousness first. What it say, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things will be added. Many people seek things. They don't seek the kingdom. They don't seek the righteousness. They seek out the things. And I'm just being honest. And I thank God that I've never really been a material person. I was wondering, I used to ask God, am I a low budget stylist?
No, ma'am.
Felicia, I used to get everybody. I said, God, am I a low budget stylist? I can seem like I'm elevated, but I'm doing all these people. And he began to show me, you're doing the ones I've chosen. You're doing the ones that are poor in spirit that you are not turning away. Those that's going up in the high-end salons are being rejected from. He said, you're receiving them all. You're receiving my sheep. So I began to realize, I said, in the midst of that, serving and charging that little amount of money, I never missed a meal or a bill.
Come on, a meal or a bill.
I never missed a meal or a bill. So God began to have me travel, even to the old elderlies to take care of them, like the nursing home, to do the elderly, because I was serving with simplicity and love. Because I love God. So it wasn't about money. So I had to learn. I had to learn how to ride a city bus with 6 small kids. And people that will ride, that I will give everything to. God said, I'm going to show you in this season, people hard. I was walking in the rain with these little babies. But let me tell you how good God is, because I was humble and able to learn the city bus. I had to learn how to ride a city bus. I said, now Lord, you have to help me with this. But let me tell you how good he is. He gave me bus drivers, black and white, to show me how to run that schedule. They said, when you put your kids out and you walk them in a daycare, there's another bus coming 5 minutes on this side. So be out there on this side so you can catch them to get to school on this side. I'm telling you, humility. And God said, in the midst of this, I'm going to show you who and people are. So people that I was giving rides to, doing their hair for free and all that, they were riding past me in the rain with my 6 kids. In the rain. But I never, I'm this, there. Never. But God put her around the corner from me. So we're going through some things, and she and I would get together down there, even when my power was off, and her husband on his way out. But we got up that next day and said, we're going to get this power bill, and we're going to get this bill back. So they don't know our story. They don't understand the people that God put in your place. Because you may look like outcast or rejected, but God will connect you with somebody that truly loves you. And that truly have the heart for you. So they don't understand your story. So it's all about humility. I was humble. I was humble. My daughter went and talked to her, and she said, come down here. But because I didn't tell my parents, I could have easily called my mom and my dad and my brother, the same way Jesus could have called the legions of angels and pulled him up out that cross. The same way. But God said, I'm going to need your faith to move and trust in me. And my mom used to get upset. But as they began to watch God do things in my life, they left me alone. My brother, they left me alone. They just thought, this girl ain't asking you grew in faith as a young girl, then I'm taking you places now. See, a lot of people want to go places. They want to go from here to here, but they don't want to go through the purging and the process of getting to there. They want other people's stuff. You don't know what people suffer through for their marriages and their houses, but you don't want to go through. See, you don't know how long a person in the trenches behind the scenes in the storm. You want to walk in their shoes, but you can't even fit their sizes. You don't wear them. You wear them now, they wear 13. You can't wear their shoes because you don't know their story. So that's why I tell people, be careful about putting your mouth on the people of God. You think you know people, but you don't know. God said what he chose when he's elected. Read Romans 8:33. It speaks about who can come against his elect. See, who can come against them? Because he justified. You don't need to be justified and validated. He put the validation stamp on you the moment he put you in the number one. You have to run around and tell somebody, I'm this, I'm that, or announce yourself. Then you step on the scene and the atmosphere will shift. Glory to God. Honey, I thank God. So when people say, you know what I heard, well, go with what you heard. Because I ain't chasing down nothing. You heard what? Well, go with what you heard. Because I'm not doing that. Go with what you heard. Because you don't know my story. You don't know. See, you know some of my story, right? But everybody don't know my story. You assume. So I'm big on that people assume. Because my God said he will vindicate me. So go with what you heard. But please don't call my phone with nonsense. Please don't. My sister in the town shut it down quick. She said, you get about your boss left and right. I ain't got time for foolishness. I got time to work on the battlefield. Let me tell you something. God is calling his people home. And we got to be ready. And I'm not letting nobody knock me from my spot of being glory in me. Hallelujah. Now I want to take you with me. But if you want that foolishness, I got to leave today and come back for you. Because I got work over here to do. You're going to get different. Right? So when we get it, we got to help others too. So I say this to say, glory to God. You ask God, Lord, deliver me. Show me, God, in the mighty name of Jesus. So I always know when you go through something, it's humility. I said, Lord, I know you didn't forget about me. I done learned how to ride the city bus. And I built relationships with those people on those bus. They love my kids. And in the midst of that, I graduated from 2 things in school. Let me tell you this. And I haven't shared it. I'm going to give you a little bit of this. I quit school because I was going through a brief bad. So I don't tell everything is for everybody. But I quit school, right? And it crushed my mama. It crushed her because they have hope for us. But let me tell you how good God is. I knew that I wanted to do better. Because my goal was to go to the military. See, my goal was my entire family on my dad's side. That's all it is. Air Force, military, airmen. My dad was Marine, you know. And so I wanted to go to the military, right? And so just sharing my stories with my children. And I found myself, us as parents would do it, I was trying to push that on one of my daughters, you know, and because I wanted her to do that. And I didn't understand until my mom passed why she was always on me. I'm like, why she's always on? Because she wanted better for me. See, she had 6 kids and I had 6. She got 5 daughters and 1 son. I got 5 daughters and 1 son. Right? Then she didn't want me to go through. So I said to say, so what I did was, because when you want it, you want it. So I wanted to go back to school for me. So my sister, my baby sister, and I love her. She always tell people, don't give me no excuse because my sister did it with 6 kids. She hate when people give her excuse about why they didn't go and get X, Y, Z. She said, well, my sister did it. I would go and put my kids to bed. I would work a full-time job, and then I would study for my GED, and I go down there to classes, and I take classes. But let's tell you how good God is. That in the midst of me riding the city bus, he gave me favor. One of the teachers that taught me, she said, not only did I have you as a youth in middle school, now I got you as an adult. Her name Bunny Boy, and I never forget her. So God put me in the midst of that after coming out of the bad relationship, or even a bad marriage, going through, I was going through something then. People didn't know, but I would show up every day in school with a smile on my face. But I'm crushed. Walking in the spirit of long suffering. See, people think they don't know what long suffering is, but they're like, well, when you gonna leave this person? God got now to deliver me, but I have to wait on God to release me. See, a lot of time people gotta understand. You go ahead of time and you wonder why you gotta repeat that. I need to wait on God to release me. So in the midst of that, defect, the teacher sat me down like to apply for a benefit. I'm like, I'm not dealing with them folks. I am not dealing with them folk. I will do what I need to do have my house, work a full-time job, because that's what I was doing. I'm not dealing with them. And I never forget, the worker talked to me so bad, white guy. He talked to me bad, and don't tell me what I can't do. Because when you tell me what I can't do, it's on. It's on. So please, don't tell me what I can't do. So he sat there down, I'm just looking at him, listening to him. I'm like, okay, it's on. So I never forget the the daycare worker, I don't know if she's still at Kathy Taft, I never forget her, and she sat me down and she said, look, let the system work for you. Caucasian lady, I said, huh? She said, I know you, you're going to apply for this, and you're going to get a job tomorrow, you're going to say, I don't need y'all stuff, and you're going to cut it out. And I started laughing, she said, let it work for you. So I didn't understand it. And so I began to let it work for me. Let me tell you, God will put angels and people in your pathway. And people don't listen to them folk. They just really trying to do this. Now everybody that's white, black, brown, whatever are not bad. They're not bad because when you walking in faith, God will put his people in place to take care of his children. He will do it, right? And so as I'm sitting there, so long story short, I began to go to school. That's why I'm doing cosmetology. And I didn't want to go for hair. They were like, why? I said, Mama, because everybody thinks I'm going to do it for free. And so I'm just doing it. So as I get down there, I'm doing them both. A lot of people didn't know that I was doing them both. And so I was doing cosmetology and I was doing my GED. But people didn't know back then you can get enrolled in your program, but you couldn't graduate until you had your GED. So I was doing them both because just because you didn't see me enrolled in class, you know what I was doing at home. I bought the book and tell what I learned. I began to study. I love researching. And I realized who administered the test, which is Van State. So I said, well, he got to have a book. So I went and found his book at Barnes & Noble. Because I said, if he ministered and write the test, then he got to have a book on how to pass the test, right? So what I did was, I would go and work a full-time job, do hair on the side, go to church, raise 6 kids, I'm a little kid, raising 6 of them, and make sure they get them good, and then I would get up and stay up at 4 in the morning studying for my test. And I had to be at work at 7. But it was okay. In the midst of all of that, God blessed me with Miss Bowen and I'm at school. They were like, look, we want to help you buy your material for your book. I couldn't get financial aid because when you didn't have a GED, you couldn't get financial aid. So everybody's blowing their financial aid checks and things. I'm like, I can't get a quarter. But it was okay because God gave me what I needed to get me by and to get me to where he was taking me, right? So he knew money to make my world go right. So whether I wasn't blowing no money on anything, it was the absolute money I got. It was on my children. That's just me. I'm always got to buy them. So my mom said, you got to buy them some shoes every day. Every holiday, they going out these shoes. Why you keep buying these kids shoes? I don't know. I'm just sitting there taking care, of these children. But long story short, Miss Bowen, he gave me favor with her. And she said, I want to buy you everything you need. So as I began to take the test, mind you, this man told me in defect, with me having 6 kids, I wasn't going to ever amount to that. I'm looking at him like, a defect, what telling me this?
Oh, yeah?
I thank God I wasn't in the flesh. I'm from 13th Street, I'm just keep it real. I thank God I wasn't in the flesh. But humility, young girl, and humble. And I said, okay. I said, I don't receive that. Well, what do you mean? Everyone that I came through, see, I said, that's a statistic. I said, but I grew up with both my parents. See, you think, because I got 6 kids, that I didn't grow up with a father. My parents was married. And all of that, I'm married to my church father. But see, he didn't know all that. The point is, you looked at me being a black woman, having 6 kids. Young. I was young. I was 21 with 4. I was young, but he was my first. I didn't have different men. He was out. I mean, my dad was the only one around us. So he didn't do that, but I wasn't going to tell my business. Anyway, long story short, I went on and I graduated with honors from both programs. I graduated with my GED in August and I graduated with cosmetology in September. And that worker was there. He walked up to me and I was like, who is he walking up to? And he was trying to come and talk to me. And he said, I wanted to shake your hand because you're the only woman. I said, woman of color. He said, the only woman of color that have ever proved me wrong. He said, you showed me. He said, he was full of pride. He said, you showed me that a mother can do it. He said, and we want to help you. And I looked over there, the entire defect was at the graduation. The entire defect. My mother, so I graduated in August with September. August was 4.0, and then I graduated in September. But it gets better. As I went on to study for the test, I had to go down and make it. See, now they make it easier for people to pass. Back then, we had to try to make it. We had to do those tests. I had to stay overnight, 8-hour test. Oh, it was hard. And we drove to make blood pressure high, like to pass out even in the testing site. But God gave me favor to get through the test. And so, long story short, even the same teacher, Miss Bowen, she said, I'm buy you everything you need. And so she said, go to Saturday and pick it up. I walked in, gave my name. She had my entire, which cost thousands of dollars to buy. But I say this to say is, nobody knows your story. They don't know where you're going. But humility, it not only brings about blessings, but humility brings more of God's grace and favor. See, people understand humility brings about favor. And when God favors on your life, nobody can shut the doors. Nobody can stop you from going where you're going. Nobody can stop when God is going to bless you. And so I say on to even get another degree. I went on from there. So I'm telling you, don't stop. Because if you may have stopped and gave up and somebody may have said some things to you, your faith in God, see with my faith in God that took me to the places that he's taken me. And I went on to go and get other things in, in the word. In more other things, but I say this to say, people will look at you and think and assume we can never look at a person and judge them by what we see. Because you don't know what you don't see. You don't know people on their face at night. You don't know people there at the feet of God. You just look at them on the outer appearance and not know what's going on the inner appearance. So I say this to say, even if they look and see you, that person just riding the bus and she doing this and that, you don't know the broken marriage. You don't know the abuse. You